So good evening, everybody. Today is 29th of July 2026. On this Guru Purnima occasion, we all from Visro wishes you all the Guru Purnima blessings to all the people, all the students, all the gurus. And Soumya, today our scholar will start again the career path analysis through astrology. Thank you so much, Soumya, for this particular analysis and presentation. Over to you. So, all the best.
Thank you so much, ma'am. So I'm sharing my screen. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to today's session. Today's session is about how to discover your career through astrology. Career is one of the most important area of life. It is not only a way of earning money, it represents our responsibility, skill, contribution to society, position, and professional identity. In the first session, we studied the basic principle of career astrology, but we will go one level deeper to understand the D10 chart, which is known as the Smansa chart. But please remember uh, one rule throughout the class that D1 gives the promise, D10 gives the details, and Dasha gives the timings. So before starting my presentation, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Somya Gupta and I am a student of Visro. I have completed several astrology courses through Visro and my learning journey is still continuing. What I appreciate about Visro is that the learning is in structured and practical way. We are not only asked to memorize the meanings of planets and houses, we are encouraged to understand how different principles work together inside an actual chart. Visro helps me to understand that an astrologer should communicate responsibly. Our purpose is not just to create fear, our purpose should make the give clarity, direction, and balanced guidance. I am sincerely gratitude to all the teachers, gurus, mentors, and fellow students who have supported me during my entire journey. So, before starting my presentation, I would like to express my gratitude to Visro. Visro has created an environment where traditional astrological knowledge is explained in a simple and an understandable way. This institute gives importance to chart practices, discussions, question and answers, and real life applications. Uh, Astrology should not be practiced through random statements. Every conclusion should have a clear astrological reason behind it. As a student and future astrologer, we must understand that people may take important decisions based on our words. So, therefore, astrology must be practiced with sincerity, respect, and responsibility. Again, I would like to thank Visro for guiding us towards becoming a knowledgeable and responsible astrologer. So, before starting D10, I would like to recall what we have studied in the last session. First, we understood the meaning of career, that career is not only just a job, it represents our karma, responsibility, talent, contribution, and professional journey. Secondly, we studied the 10th house. 10th house is the main house of profession, authority, reputation, status, and responsibility. We have also studied other career related houses like second house, which represent income and accumulated wealth, sixth house, which represents service, employment, and competition, seventh house, which represent business, clients, and partnership, 11th house, which represent gain, network, and fulfillment of ambition. We must also understand the importance of dasha. A career combination may exist in the birth chart, but it normally produces visible result when the related planetary period becomes active. We studied the professional significance of planets, the role of Saturn and discipline, the effect of different planets placed in the 10th house. Today, we will use all that knowledge in the detail. So, how we will take our today's session? We will first begin with the D10 and its importance. Then we compare the D1 chart with the D10 chart. Then we will study the professional. Then we will learn the how to calculate the D10 chart. Then we will study the professional meaning of all the 12 houses in D10. Next, we will discuss the significant planets used in the career prediction. Finally, we will learn how to read a D10, how to differentiate between job and businesses pattern, and how to identify some career combinations. So what is D10? D10 is also known as the Smansa chart. It is a spatial division chart used for detailed analysis for career and professional life. The D1 chart gives the overall promise of life, including the broad career promise. But the D10 chart gives us the more detailed information about how our career may develop. It shows our professional life, status, authority, recognition, promotion, job or business inclination, professional strength, and challenges. But Dasha tells us when these professional results become active. One important rule is that D10 should not be read independently. We must first check the promise in the D1 chart, which supports the career results we are predicting. So what is D10 chart? The Sanskrit word is dasmansa. Dasa means 10, amsa means part or a division. So every zodiac sign has a 30-degree. So to prepare a D10 chart, each zodiac sign has to be divided into 10 equal parts. So each part is gets 3 degree. Each D10, so the exact degree of a planet in the birth chart determines where the planet will be placed in the D10 chart. Suppose a planet may be in Aries in the D1 chart, but after calculation, it may be placed in Virgo, Libra, or any other sign in the D10 chart. So the D10 placements gives us a career specific information about the planet. Why the D10 chart is important? Like you all may be thinking, why do we need D10 where the D1 chart already contains the 10th house? The 10th house of the D1 chart gives the broad direction of career, but the D10 chart gives a deeper information about the quality of professional life. It helps to understand the nature of work, professional identity, and status. It can indicate whether growth may be fast, slow, stable, or filled with changes. It can also help to understand promotion, recognition, responsibility, consistency. D10 is useful for comparing services and businesses tendency. D10 also helps us to understand how a planet may behave during its dasha. A strong career combination in D1 requires support from D10 to produce stable professional success. So let us understand the difference between the D1 chart and the D10 chart. So the D1 chart is a complete map of a country. Like it contains every important part of your life, like the personality, family, finances, marriage, health, education, career. But the D10 chart is like zooming into your career area of that map. D1 tells us whether your professional success, authority, or particular skill is promised. But the D10 gives how that promise may operate in a workforce. It may show the whether the person works in a structured organization, manages people, work independently, deals with clients, face repetitive professional changes. The 10th house in the D1 gives the general direction, but the 10th house in the D10 gives the deeper information about your professional status and achievement. When the same career message appears both in the D1 or the D10 chart, our, our prediction becomes much more clear or stronger. So now let us understand how to calculate D10. So every zodiac sign contains 30 degrees. So for D10, we divide those 30 degree into 10 equal parts. So each part contains 3 degree. So these divisions are like from 0 to 3 degree, it becomes first division. 3 to 6 degree, it becomes second division. 6 to 9 degree, it becomes third divisions, and so on. So for example, a planet is placed in at 14 degree. So 14 degree falls in the 12 degree to 15 degree. Therefore, the planet is in the fifth D10 division. So now we have learned how to calculate these divisions. Now we will understand how to put these degrees into our D10 chart. So we apply for finding the division number, we apply the odd sign or the even sign rule. Like odd signs are Aries, Gemini, Leo, Libra, Sagittarius, Aquarius. So for an odd sign, the counting will begin from that same sign. And the even signs are Taurus, Cancer, Virgo, Scorpio, Capricorn, Pisces. So for an even sign, counting began from the ninth sign from that sign. So after finding the starting sign, we will count forward according to the D10 chart, D10 division number. But nowadays we have in software, so D10, D10 can be calculated automatically. So now we will understand this with the help of an example. In example 1, Sun is in 17 degree in Aries. So 17 degrees fall between 15 to 18 degrees. Therefore, the Sun is in the 6th D10 division. Like Aries is an odd sign, so the counting will be begin from the Aries itself. So we count like Aries 1, Taurus 2, Gemini 3, Cancer 4, Leo 5, and Virgo 6. Therefore, the Sun moves to Virgo in D10. And for the even sign, Venus is at 7 degree Taurus. So 7 degree falls between the 6 to 9 degree. So therefore, the Venus is in the third D10 division. Like Taurus is an even sign. So counting will be begin from the 9th sign from Taurus. So 9th sign will be Capricorn. Now, like if we count from Capricorn, so first is Capricorn, second is Aquarius, and third is Pisces. So Venus goes to Pisces in the D10 chart. So now we'll understand the meaning and basic calculation of D10. So now we will study about the houses in the D10 chart. So all 12 houses have their natural meaning, but in D10 we interpret them from the professional point of view. Like for example, the first house normally represents your personality, but in D10 it represents your professional personality. The 7th house normally represents your partnership and other people. But in D10, it represents client, business partners, and professional contracts. So what first house says in D10? Like each first house shows professional identity. It tells us that how person approaches towards work, accepts responsibilities, and appears in the professional world. Second house represent income from profession, speech, professional values, and financial stability. The third house shows your skills, courage, communication, self-efforts, sales and marketing. The fourth house represents your workplace, your comfort, your office environment, professional assets, and satisfaction from work. The fifth house represents creativity, intelligence, strategy, decision making, and the ability to guide juniors or subordinates. The sixth house is extremely important for employment. It represents our service, routine work, competition, discipline, colleagues, workplace problems, and the ability to overcome professional obstacles. So for job analysis, the first, sixth, 10th, 11th are very important houses. So like seventh house represent our clients, customers, business partnership, contracts, public dealing. It becomes very important for the business people, lawyer, consultants, traders, and client-facing partnership. The eighth house represent your sudden changes, professional breaks, transformation, research, and hidden workplace problems. Ninth house represent your mentor, ethics, higher knowledge, professional blessings, opportunity connected with travel or distance. The 10th house is the central house of D10. It represents the main profession, authority, position, responsibility, promotion, achievement. 11th house represent professional gains, incentives, network, influential contracts, and the fulfillment of ambition. The 12th house can indicate foreign work, remote area, hospital, research institutes, isolation, expense, or work done behind the scene. For business people, focus should be on the first, third, seventh, 10th, and 11th houses. So for some people, they may get confused to analyze or to learn all the 12 houses. So for there are five main career hotspots, uh, five main career houses in D10. The first house shows your professional personality. Six shows your business, clients, and partnership. Seventh house shows the main profession, authority, and status. The 11th house shows gain, professional networks, and fulfillment of career goals. Whenever you open a D10 chart, you can begin with these five houses. So now we will study the role of planets in the D10 prediction. We should never say that one planet gives only one prediction or one profession. A planet represents a group of skill, qualities, or professional themes. The house tells us how those qualities may operate. The dasha tells us when they become active. So always remember one formula that planet gives the language, the skill, house gives the area, and dasha gives the timings. So let us understand about the how the planets behave in the D10 chart. As what sun tell us in the D10 chart. Sun represent our authority, government, leadership, administration, visibility. A strong sun may support management, government roles, politics, or positions requiring responsibility. A moon represent the public, care, food, hospitality, travel, and emotional understanding. A strong moon can support nursing, hospitality, tourism, food-related profession, and public interaction. Mars represent action, courage, engineering, defense, police, surgery, land, machines, and sports. Mercury represent intelligence, communication, trade, writing, data, calculation, technology, and business skills. Jupiter represent knowledge, teaching, law, finance, counseling, wisdom, or advisory roles. So Venus represent beauty, design, art, entertainment, luxury, fashion, photography, hospitality. Saturn represent service, discipline, system, labor, machinery, operations, and long-term efforts. Saturn is not always negative. A strong Saturn in the D10 can give you stability, responsibility, and gradual professional rise. Rahu represent modern technology, artificial intelligence, foreign organizations, aviations, the internet, and unconventional profession. Ketu represent research, spirituality, healing, and beacon technical work. So for modern technology career, the combination of Rahu, Mercury, and Saturn are very important. Like Mercury gives us the logic and technical skills. Rahu gives us the innovation and new technology. And Saturn gives system, structure, and scales. So let us understand how to read a D10 chart. So there are simple 7-step methods by which you can read a D10 chart. So first check the career promise in D1. Second, study the D10 ascendant and its lord. This show professional nature and work attitude. Third, study the D10 10th house and 10th lord. This is the heart of career analysis. Step 4, see where the D1 10th lord is placed in D10. This show how the birth chart career promise may tell itself. Step 5 is identify the strongest planet in the D10. Step 6, compare the job houses with the business houses. And lastly, confirm the conclusion through the dashas and the major transit. So we always have to search for all the combinations. We should not jump to any conclusions directly. First, we should understand the basic strength and the structure of the charts before giving any conclusion to our clients. So what makes a D10 chart planet strong? A planet can become strong in several ways. First, check its sign. A planet may gain strength when it is placed in its own sign, exaltation sign, or supportive friendly sign. Second, check its houses. Planets in the first, fifth, ninth, 10th, 11th houses can become more visible in professional life. Third, check its connection. A planet becomes important when connected with the D10 ascendant lord, D10 10th lord, and D1 10th lord. Next, check the dasha support. A strong planet may not give you the major result until its dasha or antardasha becomes active. And then check the repetition theme. When the same career theme appears in the D1 and the D10 both, our prediction becomes more reliable. So one of the most important career question is, so should I do a job or should I start my own business? We should never answer this question from one house or one planet. We must compare the following the complete pattern. For a chart, we should study services houses, organizational planets, stability, and routine. And for business, we should check the client's partnership, risk-taking ability, gains, and commercial planets houses. So how to analyze the D10 chart for the job or the service people? So for employment, the sixth house is very important. It represents our service, routine, discipline, competition, and ability to handle workplace pressure. The 10th house shows your professional life, authority, status, and recognition. Saturn supports structural organization, system, operations, responsibility, and long term growth. 11th house shows increment, incentives, rewards, and network support. The dasha of the 6th, 10th, or 11th lord may bring a new job, promotion, increased responsibility, salary growth, or professional recognition. For promotion, we often examine the relationship between the 10th house, 11th house, and the active dashas. How to analyze a D10 chart for the business people. For business people, the 7th house becomes our most important house. It represents our clients, customers, contracts, partnership, and the marketplace. The 3rd house represents our courage, sales ability, communication, initiative, and the self effort. The 10th house represents our professional authority and reputation. 11th house represents profit, network, and expansion. Mercury supports trade, negotiation, and commercial intelligence. Rahu supports innovation, digital platform, foreign connections, and large scale market. Mars gives initiative and calculated risk taking ability. But the dasha of 7th, 10th, or 11th lord may start or expand a business. So let us understand the difference between a job and the business. A chart may be more job oriented when the 6th lord is strong. Saturn is strongly connected with the 10th house. 10th lord is placed in the 6th or the 11th house. Stable signs are prominent. The active dasha supports services house. And for the business oriented, the 7th house is strong. Mercury or Rahu connects the 10th house. 10th lord is placed in the 3rd, 7th, or 11th house. Fiery or airy signs are prominent, and the active dasha supports client faces business. So, when will our career results come? A good career combination does not produce the same results throughout the life. Like timings are extremely important. The D1 chart shows the original promise, but the D10 chart shows the quality and the direction of your professional expansion. And definitely, Dasha brings the results into an active life. The Dasha of the D10's ascendant lord may change the person's overall professional identity. The Dasha of the D10 10th lord may bring promotion, authority, responsibility, or a role change. Dasha of the 6th lord may bring job or service related events. Dasha of the 7th lord may bring and activate client, partnership, or business. And the Dasha of 11th lord may bring gains, incentives, and fulfillment. Now we will understand some career combinations, but always remember that they are just a supporting clues. We are not guaranteed any fixed combinations. We are not any guaranteed fixed results with these combinations. So, for a doctor or for a medical profession, we may see the connection involving Sun, Mars, 6th house, 8th house, or 10th house. As Mars represents surgery, blood, technical action. Sun represents medicine, healing, authority, and administration. Mars with Ketu may support surgery or highly specialized technical work. And the Moon, Jupiter, Venus may support healing, care, counseling, and interaction with the patients. For the IAS or the administration profession, a strong sun is important because sun represents authority and the government. Mercury gives intelligence, communication, and administrative ability. Jupiter gives judgment, ethics, and knowledge. Saturn gives discipline, public responsibility, and ability to work in a large system or a large organization. The 6th house represent our service competition. 10th house represent authority position. And Mars can add command, courage, and decision-making ability. So for a lawyer, Jupiter, Saturn, Mercury are very important planets, as Jupiter represent law, wisdom, justice. Saturn represent rules, disciplines, and the judgment. Mercury represent logic, arguments, communication. The 6th house represent our dispute. 7th house represent our client agreement. 9th represent law, ethics, higher principles. 10th house make a law of profession. So for artificial intelligence and for the technology career, Rahu, Mercury, Saturn are very significant planets, as Rahu represent innovation, artificial intelligence, digital platform, internet, or unconventional technologies. Mercury represent coding, logic, mathematics, data, analytics, and communication. Saturn represents system, processes, automation, discipline, and scale. Ketu can support deep research, back-end development, and technical specialization. And the important houses we should check, like 3rd house for skill and communication, 6th house for problem solving and technical services, 10th for the profession, 11th house for the network, technology platform, and gates. These combinations become stronger when they connect with the career houses and get support of a supportive dashas. So some of the modern career combinations are like photography or a creative media. So for this, we should check Venus. Venus is one of the most important planet as it represents beauty, art, and visual balance. Moon gives imagination and emotional sensitivity. Mercury gives the editing, technical skills, and the communication. Rahu represent camera, digital platform, and special efforts and social media. 3rd house represent hands, equipments, and communication. 5th represent your creativity. 10th house represent creative talent into your profession. So for finances, CA and consulting business, we should go for the Mercury, Jupiter, Saturn are the most important planet. Mercury represent calculation, accounting, analysis. Jupiter, wealth, finance, advice, judgment. Saturn represent audit, compliance, discipline. 2nd house related to income. 6th house related to service. 10th house represent profession. 11th house represent gains and networks. And the Virgo and the Capricorn influence may support analysis, audit, and structure-oriented work. So there are other more combinations. Like for teacher, we should check for a Jupiter, which is the one of the most important planet because it represents our knowledge, wisdom, guidance. Mercury gives explanation and communication. 5th house represent your intelligence and student. 9th house represent your higher education. The 10th house converts knowledge into your profession. For engineering, defense, and police, Mars and Saturn are very important planets. Mars gives action, courage, tools, and technical ability. Saturn gives machinery, construction, system, and discipline. So for defense and police roles, the Saturn and Sun and Mars add authority, command, and courage. For any entrepreneur or any startup founder, Mercury, Rahu, Mars are become very significant as Mercury represent your business intelligence, negotiation. Rahu gives innovation and new marketing thinking. Mars gives us courage and the initiation ability. 3rd, 7th, 10th, 11th houses should be examined before giving any conclusion. But the combination needs the support of dasha and the major transits. Always check the dashas and transit before giving any conclusion to any person. So, some common mistakes we should avoid before giving any prediction. The D10 chart alone cannot give any reading accurately. We should check the main chart, that is the D1 chart. Second mistake is that ignoring the birth time accuracy. Our divisional charts are highly sensitive to the recorded birth time. A difference in the birth time can change the D10 ascendant lords and the houses placements. Third is that one planet represents only one fixed job. Mercury doesn't mean that every person will become an accountant or may support writing or trade or technology. Fourth is forgetting the dasha. Fifth is ignored repetitive pattern. We have to check the pattern in the D1 and the D10 chart. And our final prediction should come with a complete pattern by seeing all the houses, all the planets, and all the dashas running. So let us summarize today's session. First, we have understood what is D10 chart. Second, that each 30-degree is divided into 10 parts. And third, how to calculate them into odd and even signs. Fourth, that our prediction should follow D1 promise, D10 strength, and Dasha activation. And while reading a D10 chart, always begin with the D10 ascendant, its lord, the 10th house, 10th lord, strongest planet in the chart, job combination versus business combinations, and active dasha. So, thank you everyone for attending today's session. I hope this presentation has made the D10 chart easier and more practical to you. I would like to express my sincere gratitude to Visro. I am thankful to all my gurus, teachers, mentors for providing me knowledge, guidance, and continuous support throughout my learning journey. Visro has given me opportunity to learn astrology with clarity, discipline, and devotion. I'm also thankful to all of you for attention and participation. Thank you. Thank you once again.
Thank you, Soumya. That was nice, detailed information on data. So next session will be on again on Friday. So
Yeah.
immediately the next session is on the next upcoming Friday. That is 31st, I guess,
Yes, ma'am.
31st of July. So any questions from the today's presentation? No? Okay, great. So thank you so much, Soumya, for today's
Thank you
session,
so much,
and we will
everyone.
meet on 31st of July
Friday.
at the same time for 4 p.m. Yeah.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.